Welcome to Learning to Speak Urhobo, Understanding Your Nativity. On this episode, I will be delving into one or two unique delicacies of the Urhobo people. It's called uncooked pepper soup in the Urhobo kingdom. Uncooked pepper soup. In Urhobo, it is called iriboto. When you test this food, if you batch for tree, the grass called the uncooked pepper soup. Iriboto uncooked pepper soup is just as the name implies. This meal, you prepare it, this delicacy is prepared without you carrying the entire pot of food on the fire. It is prepared without using the fire for most of the things that you need to do. That's why they call it uncooked pepper soup or iriboto. Iriboto means pepper wey dey for ground, pepper on the floor without fire. Are you ready now? Okay. Iriboto is done in so many ways. I was growing up. Iriboto or uncooked pepper soup is best prepared using a wooden pestle or a wooden bowl. We call it udo. Using udo or an earthen vessel, an earthen pot called evere. It is best used with especially the udo, because if you want to get it prepared for more than 1 to 4 persons, use the udo. You need pepper. Pepper is called iribo, especially the dried ungrinded pepper. We use the dried ungrinded pepper. Why? You use that, you put some of it into this wooden grater and you use the pestle to begin to grind it. Sometimes you mix it, you soak it into little water. Then you grind the pepper, you grind it. Why we do it like this is because when you use the pepper that is ungrinded, the one that is ungrinded but dried, then you mix it with water and start to grind it. It helps you, it brings the hotness of that pepper is still there. Most times the grinded ones have been abused. They've been watered down. So ribona or yare or riboy udona, pepper that have not been grounded but is dry, you put into the grater, the wooden grater. Also add unrilien vere. They are spices. One of them is round, you break it with your teeth and you open the fruit inside. That and ere, that is ere. Then unrilien is that long one that is black, it has seed inside. Most times you heat them a bit so that the aroma will come out. You are provoking the aroma to come out. So roast them small, you put them into the pestle or the wooden pot and you begin to grate also. Grind together with the pepper. You do that. After that, you take crayfish. And there are 2 types of crayfish, the smaller ones, then the big ones that are big, the prawn, but the dried ones. You use the smaller ones as seasoning. You put it there. Most times also, if you don't use crayfish, if you don't use crayfish, you can even add those small fish. They are very small, tiny fishes. Many of them is called igeneba. You can use the igeneba and the crayfish interchangeably or both at the same time. Come again, I say you grate the pepper, especially the dried one. You grate it, don't use the grounded one. You can use the grounded one, the pepper. Then onion and ere, which are the spices, the round one. The other one, it's long black. You can roast them, grind them together. Add the crayfish. Sometimes you can put the crayfish on a pot or on a plate and heat it so that it looks very dry. When you grate it, it scatters easily. Or you soak it in water, then you apply and begin to grind. You grind everything together. Then your fish. Now, all this is happening inside, that thing you use to pounded yam. There is a smaller one they use for banga. That's small, yes, that's what we call udo. And everything is being prepared inside this udo. So you bring your fish. If you are bringing your fish, have dried fish. Sometimes in my days at home, we use the okaka, is dried tilapia, dried bonga fish. It's called bonga fish. We call it okaka in Urhobo. You roast the okaka, roast it. Let the smell, when you want to set trap for rat, that's how you do it. You put inside that gum, and but you first roast it. You roast the okaka, you roast that bonga fish. Or if you don't have okaka, you can use any other fish, tilapia, but let them be smoked fish. Then you roast them and you put them inside that same udo. Then add little water, mix together, add little water and mix together. We don't use all this English seasoning, all this Maggi and all the rest. We don't use them. We use crayfish to do the seasoning. Then we put salt. We put a bit of salt. Then we allow the water and the roasted fish and everything to simmer for a while with all the spices for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just cover it. After that, it's ready. Add a little salt. There are others we add a little salt. After you add the salt, or you can use any one. The count potash is the one you can use. You can use that. You can use that also. Most times people add oil to it. They mesh the oil with the potash together to make it the yellow type of soup. You understand? But this one, you put a little potash and we use it without the oil. We can serve the oil separately. Now everything blends soak together. You notice in all this description, the food was never allowed to boil on the fire. It's still on the ground. That's why we call it a riboto. We only roasted the fish. We roasted the bonga fish. We roasted the crayfish that we will grate on it, blend on it, and we now roasted the fish. Even if you want to use meat, use dried meat. Tiko. It's called tiko. We call it tiko. The dried meat. We use that. Then you roast it a bit, just roast it a bit for the aroma to come out. Then put it inside the pepper sauce, that sauce that you have grated together. Add a little water to make sure it conforms to how many people you think you want to have it. That's how you increase the ingredient, depending on how many people you want to feed. That's how you increase also the content. Allow all these things to soak together for like 5 minutes. Cover it. Ladies and gentlemen, your riboto is ready. It is most excitingly served in the udo, or you transfer it from the udo to an earthen pot. Now change everything. You can use it, any plate, a saucer, anything to serve. But that's when it's most beautiful because it is in this natural habitat environment. You will love it. Now, a riboto uncooked pepper soup is eaten with plantain, boiled plantain. They boiled especially unripe plantain, yam, boiled yam. Starch, prepared starch. Everybody understand that yellow starch. But if you eat this food like I talk, if pikin stand near you, if you bird for the pikin go grow, and be eaten with cooked unripe plantain or boiled unripe plantain, boiled yam, cooked yam, or made starch. There is one unique starch we make that is yellowish, not too soft, not too hard. You just if you swallow a mamas, you swallow and drink water. If you birch, any picky way you birch for a fruit or plant where the plant will grow. So the unique delicacy in the Urhobo kingdom. You can also prepare the oily type. That oily type, you can eat it with rice, cooked unripe or ripe plantain with yam. Some people eat it with rice, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. Anytime I get home, I always tell my people, uncooked pepper soup, riboto. Why don't you try it at home and get back to me? Let's keep talking. What is the next thing you want me to talk about? Spread the news to everybody. Click on the follow button and the notification button and let people know that something is happening here. I sing and talk for a living. Urhobo boy, we love God.